This girl is changing clothes for fans. I didn't think the girl just took off her skirt. I saw something magical. Wait for her to take a closer look. But it turned out to be a boy. The hero's sister has always had a dream of a gaming career. Suddenly, one day my sister fell ill and was hospitalized. To fulfill my sister's dream, the male protagonist wears women's clothing, disguised as a sister to train in the team. But on the first day of the team, the male protagonist has a fever and a cold. Coach Heisey saw his abnormality at a glance. Immediately stepped forward and stroked the male protagonist's forehead. "You are too hot." The male protagonist still said that he could continue to train. The coach slowly took off his glasses. He said with a serious expression, "How is this possible? Keep listening. Take care of your physical condition. It is also a required course for professional players. So listen to me. You go home and rest first. I'll call you at the next trial. If you don't agree, I'll knock you out with my skull." Coach huge facial cleanser close compression, so that the male protagonist had to obey and agree. On the way back, it's really troublesome for the male protagonist to want to be a professional player. Suddenly, he saw a drenched girl sitting by the wall, fever due to cold. The male protagonist's head is a little confused. He actually recognized the girl as his sister. He immediately ran forward and hugged the girl's sister. "You'll get sick here on a rainy day." The girl looked puzzled. "You got the wrong person." The male protagonist was stunned. Let go of the girl and take a closer look. Then he got close to the girl's body and smelled it carefully. "This smell is obviously my sister's." The male protagonist hugs the girl's sister again. "Let's go home. I really miss you." Close contact. Let the girl feel the abnormal body temperature of the male protagonist. "It's so hot. Do you have a fever?" This little girl must be burnt out. "So I got the wrong person," the girl thought. Such a girl has a fever and is alone. There's definitely no way to leave her alone outside. So the girl decided to send the male protagonist home first, follow the lead of the male protagonist. The two soon arrived at the man's house. The girl first helped the male protagonist to the bed, then go to the closet to help the male protagonist find a change of clothes. This is the girl inadvertently passed the live stream of the male protagonist's sister. Is this kid no player? In this case, it is very likely to be my fan. And still such a cute girl. Then I'll treat it as a service to give back to the fans. Then the girl gently took off the man's skirt. Then the girl's pupils dilated in an instant. This honey bulge thing. Could it be that this is a boy? Screams immediately resounded throughout the building. The man in the bed, suddenly scared by the girl's cry, he sat up. "Sister, what's the matter with you?" Then the male protagonist stretched out his hands again. "Sister, I want a hug." The boy put on his stockings. Even more beautiful than girls. The boy's parents passed away tragically 10 years ago. Fortunately, he met the girl in front of him. The doctor said, "Boys are like emotionless dolls now. If you adopt a boy, it will be hard in the future. Girls don't believe in this evil." He went up and poked the boy in the cheek. "I saw the boy turn his head," the girl said happily. Isn't there a reaction? Then I took the boy's hand. "My name is Li Meng Shin. Start today. We are family." The boy looked at the girl suspiciously. "We're family." Seeing the boy's reaction, the girl came up happily and wanted to hug the boy. At first, the boy refused. But with the future, the boy gradually comes to understand the meaning of family, although they are not related by blood. It's never crossed paths before. The girl still takes care of the boy patiently. For boys, my sister is simply a living bodhisattva. Later, the girl fell in love with esports games. The playboy is confused. Why do you suddenly want to be a live streaming host? Girl explains. As long as you win the challenge championship, 10 million bonus. In that case, you can use this bonus to achieve a lot of things. That's how the girl became a live streamer of the game Nova. While exercising game technology through live broadcast, while participating in the trial training of the professional team, I thought life would go on like this. But suddenly one day, the girl is sick and hospitalized. The follow-up requires a steady stream of medical expenses. The coach of the team said, there's only one way now. The idea is to put boys in women's clothes. Go live in video instead of my sister. In that case, the problem can be solved. At first, the boy was reluctant, claiming to be dead outside. Jump down from here. I won't wear a women's suit. But the moment she put on her stockings, it smells so good instantly. From then on, it was out of control. The coach is strong and can't help but praise the boy's shy appearance. 100 times cuter than your sister. You will definitely be a big hit in the future. And this is how it started. Boy starts playing sister's live streaming host. And career. A ray of sunlight shines in outside the window. The boy is slowly waking up in his sleep. There was a fragrance in the air. The boy thought it was his sister who had come back at first. Take a closer look. This smell is not my sister's. Then the white-haired girl came in. Are you awake? Wash up and get ready to eat. And the boy didn't know what to do. Ask who the white-haired girl is. The girl stepped forward to support the boy's chin. You picked me up last night. As soon as I woke up, I was forgotten. How heartless. Then, girl clings to boy's forehead. Looks like your fever is gone. Congratulations. The boy's pupils suddenly dilated. Sorry. I really can't remember. I thought I was at home. I met my sister. The white-haired girl responded. So now I'm your new sister. Boy comes home on a rainy day. On the road, I saw a white-haired girl sitting on the ground. I caught a cold due to a fever. My head is a little confused, mistakenly identifying the girl as his sister. Picked it up and brought it home. The girl not only helped him change his clothes, wake up in the morning and cook him hearty food. Looking at the delicious food on the table, the boy nodded again and again to indicate that it was delicious. Then the boy looked around, found that the room was not only cleaned by the girl, even the dirty clothes were washed and hung up by the girl. The boy couldn't help wondering what the girl was up to. Suddenly, the girl spoke first. You're welcome. After all, I'm going to live here too. Of course, the comfort of life should be required. Then the girl gently peels the rice grains from the boy's mouth. Then he put it on his tongue and licked it. Improved life comfort. Isn't that nice? The boy froze for a moment. Wait for the boy to speak. The girl stood up and threw herself at the boy. I am very capable. Isn't it? With me around, you will become very comfortable. The clothes sticker made the boy's face instantly catch fire. He quickly pushed the girl away and explained that this was not the problem. The girl said, aggrieved, does that mean you hate me? The boy scratched his head. Suddenly, I don't know what to say. Then he turned around and planned to leave the living room first. I didn't expect the girl to catch up. Wronged, Baba said. I had nowhere else to go. The boy was shocked. It should be, why do you want to live in my house? The girl said pitifully again, you pick me up? Isn't it responsible? The boy shouted with a shy face. As if I had done something to you. The girl was stunned when she heard it. The brain suddenly exploded. You've done a terrible thing to me. You yesterday. Hug me and say I like my sister the most. He also said that he would be with his sister forever. Did you forget? Sister likes you the most too. So I think of myself as your new sister. It's nice to live here with you. However, the male protagonist is scratching his head, trying to justify the past with a fever. See, boys don't eat this set. The girl simply said that I fell in love with you at first sight. So I want to live with you. Is this okay? Then the girl sighed softly. The reason for your women's clothing, to replace his sister. Live stream of cats. There are also trials for professional teams, right? The boy panicked. Ask the girl to keep it a secret. Don't tell anyone. See the boy above. The girl nodded happily, of course. Not only will it help you keep it a secret, I can also teach you to play games. While you were asleep, I watched all the no videos you live streamed before. Your reaction speed and mental agility is not bad, but it's still a long way from being a professional player. Do you want to know why? I have all the things you need. As long as you are my hook, I will put you on top. What is the experience of having a white cat sister at home? She can not only cook, I do laundry. It will even be pasted. However, this day, the white-haired sister made a bet with the boy. If you lose solo, I want to be the hook of the white-haired sister. In the face of such a secondary bet, the boy immediately refused. But wait for him to calm down. Is the white cat sister the legendary passerby king? I didn't wait for the boy to say his name. The white cat sister stood up. It's a boy. Come with yourself. The white cat sister opened the door. Let's search. If I win, you are going to be my hook. The boy is very confident that the girl who accidentally picks it up. How can you beat me? That's impossible. The things that can be done should just be talking big. A little more serious can beat him. At this time, the white cat sister said softly, "Are you ready? Let's start the fun game." The game starts. The boy began to look for the weaknesses of the white cat sister. Take the opportunity to kill my sister in an instant. However, my sister's hand speed is terrifyingly fast, manipulates the character and comes to the boy with a dash. Then a silky little trick took the boy away. The corners of Sister White Cat's mouth rose slightly. Oops. I won. Are you ready for round 2? So, over the next 2 hours, the boy conducted 60 searches with the white cat's sister, without exception. The end result is that the boy is pressed to the ground and rubbed. The boy at the moment seems to be the chick on the chopping board. Let the white cat's sister slaughter at will? In actual combat, the boy was mercilessly beheaded, strangled by the neck, killed by the white cat sister with a hammer. The boy at the moment is very sure. The white cat sister next to me is on the global challenge, known as the No O On Professional Player. Killer Ghost Sishihua River, Xiaoyu. The white dove classmates worked very hard to satisfy me. Then the reward for satisfying my white dove classmate. The white cat sister stepped forward. Hug the trembling boy, rewarded a big European pie sticker. Then whisper in your ear, how about it? Can I stay and teach you how to play games? The boy lowered his head with a dark face. In fact, I have always found games not fun. But I see hope in you to save my sister. Boy, take a deep breath. For my sister, I had to win. So that's the end of Hu Biao's acting part. No matter what your purpose, how about we use each other? I didn't want the white cat sister to come forward. Directly clasp the boy's finger. Express that you have 3 requirements. The first person I asked to live in myself. So it includes various other expenses such as daily necessities. I will bear it with you. Second, When I teach you to play games, you must strive to satisfy my desires. And thirdly, no matter what happens, as long as I don't take the initiative to leave, never leave me behind. Suddenly, the white-haired sister showed a sad expression. The boy was also surprised when he saw this expression. Why is the expression the same as the first time we met? The boy thought for a moment. He agreed to the request of the white cat's sister. But then, the white cat's sister proposed to go shopping with the boy, and she pulls out her dress in anticipation. Ask the boy to wear women's clothes. The boy was terrified. Cross your hands to say no. The white-haired sister pouted to the side, indicating that she was obviously cute. Put it on. I picked up a girl and went home on a rainy day. The girl is the legendary king of passersby. She said she would teach me to play games. Let me become a professional athlete. The price is to agree to her 3 demands. Look at his sad expression. I actually agreed somehow. Then the girl put on a happy expression. Immediately asked me to go shopping with her in women's clothes. I just realized. The second requirement is to grant her all her desires. Although I strongly opposed the process, but when I think of my sister's medical expenses in the hospital, I still gritted my teeth and agreed to the girl's request. But suddenly, the girl said she wanted her to help me match. I immediately panicked. The woman in front of him is no longer a weak woman. It's a horned demon. After a few rounds of hot-eyed cross-dressing, in my vehement refusal, finally settled on this sailor suit, I was in tears. Gang, why do these women like to make me wear women's clothes? Suddenly, the girl took out a key. Tell me to go out quickly. What? She prepared the keys in advance. On the street, we passed clothing stores. The girl grabbed me again and asked me to try on new clothes for her. I reluctantly walked into the fitting room. Suddenly, the phone in my pocket rings, and I pick it up. It was my sister who called. My sister first cared about how I was doing recently. Then I'm very sorry for not being able to take care of me by my side. And then my sister said something that really shocked me. He actually arranged one for me. Very powerful profession. Players come to teach me how to play games. I thought to myself, could it be the witch outside? The other side, a beautiful blonde girl is being chased by a group of big men. There's no way out. The beautiful girl actually hid directly in the fitting room. However, it just so happens that this fitting room is the one I'm in. Then the beautiful girl has a big ass. She sat down on my face. I was surprised to find that she didn't wear fat clothes. Don't wait for me to remind you. Beautiful girls make gestures. Motion me not to make a sound. Then it's close to my forehead. Hold my mouth and tell me not to speak. I just feel like her World Cup is so close to me. Made my heart beat faster. I nodded again and again, said he would follow his arrangement. Then the big man outside grabbed a waiter. Ask if you have seen a girl with blonde hair. The waiter waved that it should be in this fitting room. Then the big man walked into the fitting room, said a bunch of inexplicable things outside. Then you have to open the fitting room door. I immediately opened the door first. Pretend to be unaware and ask the big man if. Wrong person. The big man saw my shy appearance. Immediately flushed. Damn, this is so cute. I'm so sorry to bother you. I'm leaving now. After the cold man left, the blonde girl immediately regained her vitality. Express your gratitude to me. However, I just feel that this girl is obviously not normal. Still don't get involved with her. I just wanted to say goodbye. But suddenly, the girl took my hand, said to express gratitude, invite me to dinner. The voice just fell. The white cat's sister rushed forward and grabbed my hand. Do you mind one more person? I'm close to the white-haired sister. People you just met don't need to go. However, the white-haired sister said that this is not a stranger. The blonde girl on the side looked at me with an intimate manner. They thought we were Lala. Then we went to a fancy restaurant. I look at the prices on the menu. Shocked. The blonde girl seemed to see my embarrassment. Wave for the clerk to come over. The prices on the menu are sorted from high to low. Give us the first 10 dishes again. I picked up a girl from the side of the road after I had a fever. Girl said to be my new sister. He also said that as long as I was obedient, just tell me to play a game. Let me become a professional athlete. For my sister's medical expenses in the hospital, I agreed to her request. I didn't think the voice just fell. She asked me to go shopping with her in women's clothes. On the road, I rescued a blonde girl without underwear. The girl said to express her gratitude, invite me to dinner. So he took us to a fancy restaurant. Learn through chat. The girl is the shooter of the ace team in the European division. The purpose of this return is to seek revenge because I was abused at the Worlds before. He's been brooding about it, so I have to return it in person when I return to China this time. I think back to the last game of the girls' team. It seems that she was eliminated by the white-haired sister. So aren't you too? Didn't wait for me to finish. The white cat sister kicked me hard. Let me not say it yet. Then the blonde girl said, it seems that there is another purpose here. He was asked by a friend to teach his brother how to play video games. Then give us the address. Ask us to help guide you down the road. I took a closer look. Isn't this address my home? On the way back, I thought back to the scene where I met the girl. Should have realized it was him long ago. It's really hard for me to explain wearing women's clothes now. The girl on the side looks at me absent-minded. Ask me what's wrong. I quickly explained that I was just a little tired. The girl immediately took my arm after listening, said to help me walk together. The white cat sister behind me sees this, also rushed forward and took my other hand. He also said that having her is enough. No one else is needed. Looking at the two people acting strangely, I'm in a dilemma. What kind of human torture is this? Suddenly, the white cat sister tugged at the corner of my clothes. Hold the phone in front of me. When are you going to confess your identity to this woman? Obviously, I have already taught you to play games. Why do you still need him? I must be stronger than him. I broke out in a cold sweat. But what kind of trouble is it? The blonde girl on the side said, she's actually pretty nervous because she's not very good with boys. If the other party is a cute sister like you, how nice it would be. And I panicked even more. If only he knew I was a boy. Absolutely will die, I said tentatively. Maybe the other party is more girly. Occasionally, I might wear a women's dress or something. I didn't expect the girl to immediately refuse. Because before he came, he also deliberately quarreled with his aunt. My aunt is very. I am worried that the other party will be a control of daily women's clothing, metamorphosis, etc. Isn't that me? I was shaking with fear. In addition, the girl also said that she would become a couple with her friend's brother. And I was shocked. What else do you want to say when you see the girl? The white cat sister immediately stepped forward to block in front of me. I can't even give you a white dove. The girl immediately pulled me over. What are you talking about? What don't you give me? And they had a tug of war over me. Suddenly, the white cat sister's hand touched my double-sided milk. 2 round things slipped out of my clothes. And there was silence. If I call myself a brother, ask Pink Kai to bring your letter? Suddenly, Sister White Cat yanked off my wig. That's it. Just admit it. The place you are going to is our home. He is your friend's brother. The girl's face instantly darkened. Trembling all over. It's really the same as what my aunt said. It really sucks. I go out in women's clothing. I met a pretty blonde girl. Beautiful girl. It was my sister who asked me to teach me how to play games. He said he really hated people who wore women's clothes, especially the kind of control boy. However, the next second, the white cat sister took off my wig. The place you are going to is our home. She is the friend you are looking for, brother. She's not just a boy, and she's still a sister-in-law. The girl's face instantly darkened. It's really the same as what my aunt said. You are so bad. And I went home. I knelt down in front of them, explained to the girl what happened in the middle. At first, I lived with my sister. Later, my sister fell ill and was hospitalized. To complete the contract, I can only disguise myself as my sister. Live and bloodthirsty in her place. Later, by chance, I took Zhang Xiaoyu back to my house. Teach me to play games on the condition that she stay. However, when I don't know, my sister also contacted you. Please come from Europe and teach me how to play games. That's pretty much what's going on right now. The girl stood up angrily after hearing this. What do you mean? That's about it. Your sister didn't say that when she asked me. I was so scared that my hair stood up. My sister doesn't have a good memory. Always forgetting something. And the matter of Zhang Xiaoyu, I haven't had time to tell him yet. The girl threw me away. Aggrieved, saying that he was being played around. Ask me how it ends now. The content of the original transaction with your sister. It may include your personal freedom, now being robbed by this unknown woman. How can this be? The white-haired sister sneered and said that the origin was unknown. You're a loser. Even if you came first, I must be better. The girl said angrily. He is a world-class shooter. If you want to teach people to play games, anyway, it's better to be yourself. So the white cat sister suggested that the girl go to the room solo. Bet on me. Whoever wins the game takes ownership of me. So when the two are solo, I was the errand boy again. Along the way, I couldn't help but feel the feud between women is terrible. No, I have to hurry home and see. Otherwise, they are very likely to demolish the house. All of a sudden, a black sedan pulled up next to me. The bald man in the car recognized me at a glance. Get out of the car immediately and arrest me. I just took whatever was in my hand. Hit the bald face. Just when I turned to run away. Bald Chelsea is surprisingly fast. It grabbed my arm in an instant, then put a rag in my mouth, then throw me in the car. After a long time, when I wake up again, I was placed in a strange room. A woman in black silk approached me. Lift my chin with my fingers. Should I call you Jupiter or Dove? Hear a woman's voice. I recognized it immediately. The other party is the coach who made me wear women's clothing in the first place. Women don't talk. Nonsense. Just take off my blindfold. I'm not just your coach. And she's Ellie's aunt. I was kidnapped by the black silk female coach. She's not just the one who made me wear women's clothes. And it's still the little coach of the blonde girl. Looking at me flirtatiously. How do you feel about your life? Completely played by me. I just think he's playing so perverted. Then ask him what he wants. The coach pouted angrily. It's rare for me to act like a mature bad woman. Why not take the bait? The coach sighed and caught you today. It's mainly related to what happened to Ellie. Then he took out a row of torture instruments. What's your answer now? It will determine the tools you use. I instantly scolded in cold sweat. It doesn't matter which one you use, it's not good. The coach put his foot on the chair in front of me. So the first question is, what do you think of Ellie? Then a knife was pointed at the rich woman in front of me. Seems to have an unspeakable and complex past. But I'm not interested. The knife in the coach's hand. You swipe it and it hits my chair. I was so scared that my scalp burst. But then the coach throws the knife away. Qualified answer. But even if you're not interested, you're going to finish it now. Now that it has been involved, then let me tell you the whole story. Then decide whether to make a sound or not. And then he took me out onto the balcony. First asked me if I want to eat chocolate. I asked him suspiciously, is it the one in your mouth? The coach turned his head coldly. Ellie's trouble. Mainly because of the trouble of being the eldest lady of the family. When he was very young, got engaged to another child. And you must have heard of that person. The talented producer who developed the game Nova. The final championship trophy is awarded every year at the World Championships. He's doing it all. You could say, he himself is the official of the Nova game. If you agreed to let Ali pretend to be his boyfriend, the situation would be very bad for you. You were supposed to replace Jupiter. Come and work hard with the goal of professional players. If you get his attention, probably not even a professional player. I quickly waved my hand. He expressed that he had never thought of agreeing to this. But suddenly, the coach took out a pair of handcuffs, then asked the two of us to lean together. That's up to you. This is also your sister's expectation. She wants you to help Ellie. I heard what my sister meant, so I just nodded, said it would be considered. The coach saw that my attitude was cold, so he came up to my forehead. So again, Eli, we are now in opposition to this. I pretended to be calm and pushed the coach away. It means that it makes you uncomfortable to stick too close. The coach thinks he is not attractive enough. Obviously, it's easy to be shy when you play Jupiter. Come home after reaching a consensus. As soon as I opened the door, I saw an unforgettable shadow. What are these two women doing? I must have opened the door the wrong way. After I recited the Buddhist scriptures in my heart several times, blushing, ready to reopen. He is a boy dressed as a woman, with two big European girls. He went to the grocery store, bought a drink, came home. Just opened the door. I saw two big sisters collide at the World Cup. Powerful visual impact is approaching the sky. Make him feel like he opened it the wrong way. He immediately closed the door. After a 2.5-second bath in my heart, he let out a long sigh. Then he raised his trembling hand and slowly opened the door. Sure enough, it was the wrong way to open it. Relative to the previous picture, everything is fine now. Ellie was the first to ask the boy, "Have you bought the iced black tea you want?" The boy immediately handed over the drink in the bag. The white-haired sister on the side also walked forward excitedly, pick up the drink, grunting blood. The boy asked how the two were doing. Ellie put it mildly, since you have defeated yourself head-on in the world. Sishiha as a professional player. I'm definitely not an opponent. The white cat sister on the side was puzzled. Wasn't it defeated head-on? Or crush hunting? Hear this. Ellie went up, blushed. Then the white cat sister placed her hand on the boy's shoulder. The combat technique just now won. Sure enough, the most suitable person is me. Now the right to teach white clothes. The attribution is already clear. Suddenly, the boy pushed the white cat sister away. I have something to ask Ellie before I decide. Something about you not being good with boys. Can you tell me in detail? I want to know who I am now in men's clothing. Does touching it make you feel embarrassed? If this cannot be restrained, I'm afraid I can't be a man. With Ray, learn to play games. Ellie's face turned even redder. But to prove that I am not a weak chicken, she still mustered up the courage to grab the boy's hand. Seeing Ellie, there was no unusual resistance. They're also genuinely happy for her. Suddenly, the boy awakens the old sex badge attribute. Pull Ellie into his arms. Suddenly, the two eldest sisters were shocked. I have absolutely no idea what kind of playing this guy is doing. The boy asked Ellie lightly, will she back down like this? I didn't expect Ellie to stick her head directly on the boy's chest. Then said shyly, this kind of contact will not feel scary. The picture of Coach Heisey came to the boy's mind. It turns out that Coach Heisey introduced Ellie is not good at dealing with boys to an exaggerated extent. It's almost androphobia, to put it bluntly. Just physical contact can make him feel pain. If you want to help Ellie, we need to know if Ellie can touch it. Wearing men's clothing, so we need a little extra stimulus. Therefore, Coach Heis advises the boy to try hugging Ellie. Look at his reaction. Seeing that now Ellie has no resistance, the boy breathed a sigh of relief. Ellie asked the boy with a shy face, do you want to learn to play games with yourself? The boy scratched his head. It means that there can be a professional player like Ellie as a teacher? I must be looking forward to it. But he didn't notice at all the demonized white cat sister in the back. Oh, is that so? This is going to mess with me and give up. After the boy donned women's clothes, picked up two big European beautiful girls on the road. The beautiful girl is actually a professional player in the game competition in order to compete for the sole ownership of the boys' game Mentor. The two choose to win or lose in the game. Finally, after some friendly negotiation, the two decided to shelve the dispute. Joint development. The boy's pupils dilated instantly. Two big sisters, please let it go. This night, the boy and Ellie went for a walk. The boy recalled that he was not very familiar with it at that time, so he reported the case. After playing the game together, but there was no imagined embarrassment. Sure enough, it's the same as what my sister said. I want to get to know people. I don't know. Playing video games is the fastest way. Sudden birth. So much so that the boy walked alone in front. An angry Ellie chased after her. I said, White, are you even listening to me? Why are you still distracted when you're with me? The boy quickly apologized with both hands. Explain that you are just thinking about your sister. When I heard that the boy was in love with his sister, I was stunned. You're not even curious? Why am I on good terms with your sister? The boy shook his head confidently. This world, there's no one who doesn't want to have a good relationship with his sister. It's just that you see my sister live. Immerse yourself in it. Fan tip. Exchange contact information, and we became friends. Ellie seems to have been told. Guilty say, how could my relationship with Mushin be so simple? Our relationship, it's deeper than you can imagine. While resting on the bench, the boy said that he was kidnapped by his beloved aunt. Auntie said you want to break the engagement. Need me to pretend to be your boyfriend. Is that why you made a deal with my sister? And Eli asks the boy, do you know why you can't handle boys? The boy said he didn't know. Ellie clenched her hands involuntarily. After some psychological struggles, I know you still have a lot of questions for me. Obviously, Mushin's friend, but I don't recognize your dress. Those bald heads chasing me, it also seems to be cooperating with my acting. You must feel. Is there any intention for me to approach you? Trust me. One day I will let you know all about me. Before that, you just need to know. So Ellie took advantage of the boy's lack of attention, pulled him into his arms. Then he pecked it directly. I need you. Not if it's not you. The boy who was forcibly imported and brushed looked confused. But suddenly it flashed through my mind. I seem to have met Ellie before, but I can't remember when this happened. However, what they failed to notice was, that was the scene. all were seen by the white-haired sister behind. Suddenly, Sister Whitehair was stunned. The clenched fist in his hand trembled slightly. I saw my cabbage being eaten by other pigs. What was it? The white-haired girl was so angry that she went through menopause on the spot. How long have you known each other? Do it in the park. When the white-haired girl was a child, I was forced by my mother to practice over this game. If you don't play well, you will be scolded from time to time. Causes white-haired girls to grow up with a withdrawn personality, never cooperate with teammates in team games. Therefore, the coach was very dissatisfied. But its own operating ability is strong. The team finally hid the white-haired girl in the bench. Then the white-haired girl met a guy. Invisibly, an agreement was made between the two. But then the boy suddenly disappeared. After a long time, white-haired girl hears boy news again. Now he has become Mushin's younger brother. Mushin said that he has a plan to get his brother to join, that is to make him and Ellie a couple. Suddenly, a bottle of Coke on the white-haired girl's head. Why is that face? Stay here alone. Is it a discovery of conscience? Regret for escaping team training without permission? The white-haired girl said nonchalantly, I don't like that kind of intensity of training. Ellie slowly approached the white-haired girl. So who was in the World Series last year? Only got a runner-up? I was kicked out again this year as a substitute and hid in the snow. No, this person can't be the person by my side, can he? That's bad enough. But I'm curious. Although you made a mistake last year, but as long as you cooperate with the training, you can still return to the game. But why at this time? Run to a Xiaobai's house as a sparring partner. What do you think? When Ellie's done, the white-haired girl slowly raised her head. His feet touched Ellie lightly. It's not because I'm interested in you. I already knew. Mushin wants the little devil in white, pretending to be your boyfriend. You will definitely go to his house too. So I had to ambush him at his house in advance, then sneak up on you. Ellie was so frightened that she quickly took the white-haired girl's hand away. What are you saying? The speech of the female address book? Could you please be nice? The white-haired girl continued to ask Ellie gently, shouldn't it be touching? Ellie was embarrassed. I'm not interested in that. The white-haired girl pushed Ellie away with tears. You don't like me so cute. Do you really like the guy in white? Aren't you a fake couple? Ellie turned back shyly. Who would like that stinky kid without a mole? I have my own business. Seeing Ellie show her feet, the white-haired girl keeps getting closer to Ellie. Really? But I still want to check. Miss Ellie's affection for me. No. Ellie was so scared that she stepped back, shouting that what he said was true. Tell the white-haired girl not to come. After confirming that Ellie is not lying, the white-haired girl laughed out loud. Excuse me, were you just kidding? Then I took Ellie's hand. Since everyone's target is white, then we will be enemies from now on? Ari was completely confused. I have no idea what this guy is talking about. Wake up. What is the experience of having a big European beautiful girl next to it? A ray of sunlight shines in outside the window. The boy slowly opened his hazy, sleepy eyes. But the next second, his pupils dilated. A cute white rabbit suddenly popped out of the quilt. The boy was so frightened that he stood up on the spot. Recently, someone's attention is distracted by the golden retriever. So I only work when Xiaoyi is asleep. Only then can I feel Xiaoyi's body temperature slightly. Then, the girl was acting pathetic. Faced with the sudden abnormal behavior of the white-haired girl, the boy was at a loss. Could it be that I privately promised Ellie last night? Was discovered. But why hasn't he done it yet? Instead, dressed like this. Is he testing me? If you are honest, it'll be all right, right? The boy jerked his head up. I got it all. I promised Allie last night. I will report to Geelong College today. I didn't deliberately hide it from you. It's just that the discussion was too hasty last night. So I didn't have time to tell you. I thought there was going to be a storm coming. But then the actions of the white-haired girl makes the boy even more confused. He wasn't angry and gently caressed the boy's cheek. I know this too, but there is no way. After all, this is primary one's own choice. It's just that you'll have less time to go home in the future. It's hard for us to meet again. Can I change your clothes again? Maybe it's the last time for a while. The girl looked at her with expectant eyes. The boy agreed unexpectedly. Girls don't talk nonsense, and threw himself on the boy. Then just try this. The last time I went to the mall, I thought it matched Xiaoyi's hair color very well. If you wear this to report, you will definitely be very energetic. However, the boy said he would wear women's clothes, because this time I am completing my studies in place of my sister. I didn't report it as myself. The girl smiled. It's exactly what I thought. So he continued to ask the boy tentatively. I was also admitted to my favorite school this year. Why not report it? The boy was a little surprised. Why does the white cat girl know everything? But soon it was abruptly passed by the white cat girl. The boy said he was admitted to his favorite school. But it's even more important to help my sister reach the top. But my sister is now sick and hospitalized. Team trial is a compulsory course at Roland Academy. I had to take a break from school, replace my sister to complete her studies first, the white girl complained. Boy behavior is not cool at all. And the setting of the control is too two-dimensional. The boy retorted angrily that the white-haired girl would not understand. It has nothing to do with being cool. It is the great bond between people. The white-haired girl doesn't talk nonsense with him. Reached out and touched the boy's head as a direct senior of your major. How could I not understand the relationship between them? Saying that the white-haired girl took out her student ID. We are of the same major. Pure senior sister and junior brother relationship. The boy took the student ID card in confusion. Aren't you an active professional player? Why are you still in college? White-haired girl hugs boy. Who says college students can't be professional athletes? Electronic sports only depends on strength, and so is your sister. The white-haired girl started complaining. Students of Roland College, average level, barely, can still hold up the academy's goal of cultivating elite players. Then, the white-haired girl is slowly approaching the South China Sea. I have an idea. I can keep you by my side. Subsequently, the golden retriever girl received a text message that shocked her. I was attacked by two big European beautiful girls. What was it? The male protagonist's sister is sick and hospitalized. To help my sister complete her studies, so she disguised herself as a girl. Go to school for my sister. Check in. But my sister's dormitory is actually with golden retriever. White hair is worried that golden hair will take the opportunity to open the oil. So white hair took the male protagonist to the woods. Pull out your carefully prepared stainless steel underpants. The male protagonist only feels. This woman's brain circuitry is a bit strange. At this time, Whitehair's eyes moved below the male protagonist. Then, without saying a word, he rushed forward to help the male protagonist put it on. The male protagonist is trembling with fear, you say. Is it possible? In love with him, he is actually not interested in me, just because of my sister's arrangement. The white cat slowly stopped its movements. If the golden retriever is not interested in the little one, so that is to say, his fetish suits the cute boy. So the white cat took out a pair of scissors. Why don't you cut 100? There was silence. Then the male protagonist stood up and slowly walked behind Bai Mao. Are you stunned by yelling at him? then pick up the white cat from behind, ready to give him a throw. But I never expected. The white cat threw an elbow at the male protagonist's head. Then I grabbed the male protagonist's arm with my backhand. Then spread your feet. Full body force directly gave the male lead a shoulder fall. After calming down, the white cat's brain suddenly exploded. I thought of a surefire way. The screen changes. The two came to the dormitory wearing dinosaur coats. The male protagonist only feels a flap in his heart. Does it really work? After knocking on the dormitory door twice, the golden retriever slowly came out. Is it Xiaobai? Why are you so late? Come on in. Fortunately, at this moment, the golden retriever can't open his eyes with a mask on. The male protagonist walked quickly to the inner room with the white cat on his back. Just got indoors. The white cat commanded the male protagonist to go to bed quickly. But suddenly, golden retriever asked him to help himself get the body lotion. The male protagonist looked up at the position of the body lotion. This distance is white hair. I can't wait to strangle the male protagonist. Well, promise him. Can't you just go to bed and sleep? He disguised himself as a woman and went to school to teach for his sister. However, the dormitory is with the golden retriever. In order not to let the golden retriever take the opportunity to open the oil, white hair makes the male lead wear a dinosaur coat, living in a dormitory behind your back. But just enter the dormitory. Ellie asked the male protagonist to help get the body lotion. Look at the position of the body lotion. The white cat wants to strangle the male protagonist to death. Why did you promise him? Wouldn't it be better to go to bed obediently? But so far, there is no way. The male protagonist had to climb into the bed with white hair on his back. But white hair's arms are too short to reach. So white hair asked the male protagonist to drag himself a little higher. As a result, the male protagonist slipped and caught the white hair's fat thorn. Suddenly, white hair made a strange sound. The golden retriever, who noticed the strange thing, asked what the sound was just now. The male protagonist quickly steps forward and rests his body on the ground. Explained that he accidentally twisted his waist. I thought I could finally get a good rest. I didn't expect. Golden retriever also asked the male protagonist to help take down the essence, and it's right there. White hair is so angry that he tightens the male protagonist's clothes. Whispering to kill the golden retriever, the male protagonist, who was worried that things would get big, turned around and was about to pick it up, but just stepped onto the ladder. Accidents happen. The male protagonist's foot slipped, fell hard to the floor. Then, the white cat's 2 World Cups directly knocked the male lead out. The white cat thinks the male protagonist is trying to peek. Hands keep beating the male protagonist. Tianlinggai warns the male protagonist not to cut indiscriminately. The male protagonist is very aggrieved. The golden retriever, who perceives the movement, takes off the mask. I saw the male protagonist lying on the ground in a dinosaur coat. Golden retriever was confused at first. But the brain circuit clearly thinks that the male protagonist is playing cosplay. Rush forward and sit on the male protagonist. Since I promised to pretend to be boyfriend and girlfriend, then something? You have to get used to it in advance. The golden retriever spanked the male protagonist on the butt. But what he doesn't know is, he spanked his white-haired butt. The white cat panicked, immediately sat up and moved to the side. Unexpectedly, golden retriever's hand also stretched out. Then grab at the white hair World Cup. But why doesn't it feel right? White hair can't take it anymore. But the golden retriever is still groping wildly outside. Next second, the white cat just exploded out of the dinosaur coat. Defeated general. Don't go too far. I thought the golden retriever would be beaten up next. Instead, the golden retriever grabbed the white hair. Then he kicked him out the door. Zhang Xiaoyu. According to school rules, non-JLN students are not allowed in. And Xiaobai, the time tonight is mine. Bai Mao just scolded the fuck. Wait for me. He was interrupted by a cold voice. Xiaoyu. I didn't expect to catch you here, did I? Is this a craft? The girl woke up and was firmly tied to the bed. Don't wait for him to think. The real culprit behind the scenes stuck Xiaoyu's head out from the side. Breakfast is ready for you too. It turns out that after Xiaoyu was kicked out of the dormitory by A Lei yesterday, I was bumped into by the previous coach Hasey. The coach said he was going to start a new team for him. At first he refused, but the coach said that the male lead in white will also be in the team. And he thought about it for a second and he said yes. However, as a condition, he must also be allowed to live in Baiyi's dormitory. Awake, Ellie stared at Zhang Xiaoyu. This is what you did. How dare you? Miss Ben is angry. Zhang Xiaoyu smiled gently. Deal with bad dogs. The most useful way is, of course, to use a rope. Ellie shouted angrily, and you won't be long. The dormitory aunt will come to visit later. I see you can still. How long? Zhang Xiaoyu saw this and took out the application for changing the dormitory. This is what your aunt let me live in. I had to reluctantly agree. Then Zhang Xiaoyu took out a pink sock. After all the lifestyle of a certain eldest lady, have to make me worry about Xiaoyi's quality of life. Ellie was taken aback. Then he shouts in embarrassment that it's not his own. Then he turned to look at the male protagonist. Don't throw away the stinky boy socks casually. The male protagonist looked confused. These are obviously your socks, okay? Zhang Xiaoyu pointed to the bathroom again. Is this one in there also primary one? Ellie's face instantly turned red. Immediately break free from the bundle and pounce on Zhang Xiaoyu. Give me that back. I didn't grab Zhang Xiaoyu and turned sideways, the moment when A fell short. Her hand grabbed Zhang Xiaoyu's pants. Then they both blushed. There was silence. Zhang Xiaoyu quickly lifts her pants, golden retriever. You can't afford to lose, so you play dirty tricks, right? White cat fox. I don't know. You must have gotten in through some shady deal. Watching the scene of the two fighting, the male protagonist wants to take advantage of the fire before it burns himself. It's better to run away first. The male lead didn't take 2 steps just now. She was stopped by Ali behind her. Termites, where are you going? The male protagonist explained that he went to the bathroom to take a shower. Hear this. 2 colleagues shouted no. Ali looked at Zhang Xiaoyu with a puzzled face. Zhang Xiaoyu explained that her underwear is the same as Ellie's, all in the bathroom. Then the two packed the male protagonist's things, kicked out the door with the male protagonist, then closed the door. Let the male protagonist go to the school bathhouse to wash. The male protagonist recalls the scene in the bathroom, embarrassed but not washed in the dormitory. Which bathhouse do you want to go to at school for the women's clothing? I have never seen such a bold boy. Dress up as a girl and go to school for my sister. At the moment, he is thinking about which bathhouse to go into. After observing left and right at the door, he decided to sneak into the men's bath while no one was around. But he was just about to move on. I was suddenly hugged by a stranger. The boy slowly turned his head. I saw a lower grade female student, looking at her with expectant eyes. The boy remembered what his sister had said. Her sister asked her to pay special attention to one person at school, a cute girl from the abyss. Intentionally controlling the kitchen, the little devil who is extremely good at self-strategy. Simply put, it is the release of control. The object of her release is me. That is, you after women's clothing. Baiyi was petrified. I wonder why I met her at this time. But still strong and natural to pull the girl away.